So now we are going to create this simple quiz application with the help of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So guys, over here, as you can see, the question will be displayed to the user and the user can select the correct option out of all the 4 options over here. So what is 2 plus 2? So the correct answer must be 4. So when the user clicks on the option that is 4 over here, the background color will be updated to the green color, meaning the answer is correct, and then the user can move to the next option over here. So when the user clicks on the next button, in this case the question will be updated. Now we are able to see the second question, and then once again we are getting the different options over here. So let us select the incorrect option from here. So what is 7 multiplied by 5? It is 35, but let us say I select 28 over here. So since the answer is incorrect, the background color is now updated as the red color, and also we are not getting the next button over here in order to see the next question. So guys, simply the application wants you to find the correct answer. So let us try another answer, that is 36 over here. So once again it is incorrect, and let us select the correct answer now, which is 35. So let me just hit on this particular button. So as you can see, now we are getting the background color as green color, and now we are able to see the next button. So the next question will be displayed over here. So guys, this is the way that this quiz app will work based on the HTML, CSS and the code that we are going to write in a JavaScript. So let us move to VS Code. So let me just create a new folder inside the projects folder over here. So as you can see, we have this simple quiz folder that we have created. Inside this we are going to create 3 new files, that is index.html, then we have style.css file and the script.js file as well. So we have created all the 3 files inside the simple quiz folder over here. Let me just quickly create the HTML template inside the index.html file in this case, and we will provide the title, that is simple quiz app over here. So guys, basically we are going to create a simple quiz app in this case, wherein the users will be able to provide the answers to the questions that is provided in this application. So let me also provide the link to the style.css file over here, and also the script.js file in which we are going to write our JavaScript code in order to handle our simple quiz application. So guys, over here as you can see, we have provided the style.css and the script.js file as well. Now guys, let me just provide certain styling attributes to the body tag over here. So inside the style.css file we will provide the body tag, and let us provide the margin, it is equal to 0, and padding as well, it is equal to 0. Apart from this, we will provide the background over here, and we will provide the linear background in this case. So we have 135 degrees of linear background, and let us say we provide the colors as aqua, and then we have another color, that is chart reuse over here. So guys, let me just adjust the shade of this color in this case, and also the chart reuse color. So these are the colors that we are going to use, and let me also provide the width and height as well. So we have the width of 100% and also the height of 100 VH over here. Let me just save this file now, and let us start the live server over here by clicking on the go live button in this case. So this is the background color that is getting applied to the body tag over here. Now guys, let us create the simple div container in this case. So basically we will have the div tag with the class container over here, inside which we are going to have the h2 tag which will say simple quiz in this case, and then after this we are going to simply have the horizontal line. So guys, as you can see, we have the simple quiz and then we have the horizontal line over here. Let us provide certain styling attributes to the container. So let me just come to the style.css file. We will provide the class that is container over here. First of all, we will provide the background color of white and also the width of 300 pixels in this case. Apart from this, I want this to be at the center of the screen, so we provide the top margin as 20 pixels and left and right margin as auto over here. Let me just save this file now. As you can see, this is the div tag that is getting displayed. Let us also provide certain padding over here. So we will say padding of 40 pixels from top and bottom, and from left and right, let us say we provide 20 pixels of padding over here. So this is the padding that is getting applied over here. Let me just reduce the padding to 20 pixels from top and bottom as well. After this, let us also provide certain border radius as well. So in this case, we will provide 20 pixels of border radius, and also we will provide a box shadow to make it look more decent over here. So 5 pixels of horizontal shadow, then we have vertical shadow of 5 pixels, and then 10 pixels of blur effect, followed by the color of the border, that is black color. So as you can see, we are getting the box shadow in this way for this particular div container. Now guys, after this we need to display a question and then followed by the options for the user to select the correct answer. So within this container tag, we will have another h4 heading in this case, and then we will say question will appear here. So guys, basically this will be the question that will be displayed based on the data that we are going to provide in our JavaScript code. After this, we want 4 options to be displayed. So over here we will say div tag with the class answer buttons in this case. So guys, basically we have the answer buttons over here, and simply we will have 4 options in this case. So let us say we simply provide 4 buttons over here, that is answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, and then answer 4. So as you can see, these are the buttons that are getting displayed. Let us provide certain styling properties to these buttons as well. So within this class, that is answer buttons over here, let us go inside the style.css file, and then we provide answer buttons, inside which we have the button tag over here. So what we want to do is, first of all, we will provide the width of 100% so that the entire width is taken by this particular buttons, and then we need to provide certain spacing in between all the buttons. So we will say margin of 10 pixels from top and bottom over here, and then 0 pixels from left and right in this case. So as you can see, we have provided the required spacing as well. Let us also provide the border, it is equal to none over here, and also the outline property as well. So outline will be also equal to none in this case. So guys, basically these are some changes that we have done. Apart from this, let us also provide certain padding from top and bottom. So let us say we provide 10 pixels of padding from top and bottom, and from left and right we provide 0 pixels of padding, and we also want the text to be aligned to the left side of the button over here. So as you can see, we have provided the text align as well. Apart from this, let us also provide the padding from left and right also. So these are the options that are getting displayed over here. Now guys, apart from this, we will also provide certain background color over here. So a lighter version of the white color. So let us provide this gray color version. So let me just save this file. These are the options that are getting displayed now, and then let me just provide the cursor, it is equal to pointer over here. Apart from this, when we get the mouse on the button, that is the answer over here, we need some other color to be displayed so that it looks more attractive. So basically we are going to make use of the hover pseudo element in this case, and let us provide the background color and change the shade of the background color over here. So simply instead of this color, we are going to make it little bit more darker over here. So let me just save this file now, and as you can see, when we get the mouse on these options, the background color is updating. Now guys, apart from this also, let us provide certain border radius as well. So it is up to you what kind of styling you want to provide in this case. So we have provided the border radius as well. Let me just increase it to 20 pixels. So these are certain options that we have displayed based on the question that is getting displayed over here. Now guys, the data, that is the question and the answers, will be coming from the JavaScript code. After this, we will also have the next button. So simply we will have button over here for which we will have the text as next, and then we will also have the ID, it is next over here. So basically we have the next button for which we will also apply the styling attributes. So over here simply we provide hash character followed by the next ID in this case, and then let us provide the font size over here. So basically we will provide the font size of 22 pixels in this case. As you can see, this is the next button that is getting displayed over here. We will also provide the margin from top as 10 pixels, and also the background color of, let's say, a shade of blue color should be applied over here. So this is the color that we can apply to the next button. Let me also provide the cursor. It is equal to pointer over here, and when we get the mouse on the next button, that is the hover effect, we want to scale down the button. So let me just provide the hover pseudo element, and in this case we will say transform. It is equal to, we will say scale to 85% over here. So basically when we get the mouse cursor over here, as you can see, it is scaling down to 85% of its original size. Now guys, this is as far as the styling inside the HTML web page is concerned. Now let us move to the script.js file over here, where we will be providing the questions which will be displayed over here inside the heading tag, and also the answers that will be displayed as part of these HTML buttons. So guys, first of all, let us define the data over here. So simply we will say data, it is equal to, it is going to be the array wherein we will be having the questions and the answers. So it is going to be the array of object over here, wherein we will have one property inside the object as question, and then we will say what is 2 plus 2 over here, which is a very simple question, that is a mathematical question. And then guys, after this we will provide the answers for this question in the form of array. So we have answers colon, and then we have the open and close square brackets over here, inside which again we are going to have the object. So first of all we will say text, it is equal to, what are the options? So basically first of all we will say it is equal to 3, and then we will have another property which will be a boolean property over here. We will have the value as false in this case, and for the correct answer we will have the correct property as 2. So we have the options that is 3, 4, 5, 6, and in this case the correct answer will be 4 over here when we carry out this mathematical operation, that is 2 plus 2. So simply we will say true for this particular option, that is 4 over here. We can provide the comma after the question in this case. So guys, as you can see, this is one object, that is one question inside our data variable, which we have defined as constant over here. Now after this, let me just duplicate these lines of code so that we can add more questions in this case. So guys, basically we are going to have 4 questions over here. So the next question will be, what is 5 multiplied by 7? So over here we will provide our answers. So let us say we have 21, 28, 35, and then we have 36. So basically this is the correct answer. So simply we will say true over here, and for the second option we will say false in this case. After this, let me just quickly update the other 2 questions over here. So I have updated the third and the fourth questions as well. Now guys, after this what we have to do is simply we need to identify the questions and the answers buttons over here. So what we will do is we need to provide the ID for this h4 tag as question in this case, and then we already have the class for this particular div tag which is having all the buttons which represents all the answers over here. So guys, simply let me just copy the ID of the question in this case, and let me just define over here. So we will say element question in this case, it is equal to, we will identify the HTML element document dot query selector over here. Since it is the ID, we will use hash character followed by the ID, that is question in this case. Similarly, we will identify the class, that is answer buttons. In order to get all the buttons over here, we will say element answer buttons in this case, so that we can recognize them easily. So element answer buttons, it is equal to, we have document, and then we have query selector followed by the class. So we have dot followed by the answer buttons over here, after which we need to get the button tag in this case. So guys, basically it is going to have all the buttons over here. So instead of having query selector, we will say query selector all in this case. So it will get all the button tags inside the answer buttons class. Now guys, what we have to do is simply we need to create a new function, that is start quiz over here. So we will say start quiz in this case, and then we also have to track about which question is getting displayed on the web page over here. So what we have to do is, let me just create a new variable, that is question index in this case. So we have question index, it is equal to a blank string over here, and when we start the quiz we want the question index, it is equal to 0, since we want the first question to be displayed along with their answers as the options. So guys, over here we have set it as question index, it is equal to 0, and then simply we will have another function, that is display question over here, which is going to take the parameter that is question index. Now guys, let us define the display question over here as the function. So we have another function in this case, which is going to take the data from this particular data array over here, which is having the array of objects, and one at a time it is going to display the question and the answers over here based on the question index. So simply let me just provide the question index over here as the parameter, and then what we have to do is we need to set the element question that should have the first question over here. So simply we will say question followed by dot, and then we have the inner HTML over here. So simply we have inner HTML, it is equal to, and then we need to refer to this particular data constant over here. So we have the data in this case, and then since it is an array, we need to provide certain index which is represented by the question index over here. So basically currently the question index is pointing out to this particular question, and we have the question property and the answers array over here. So simply we provide the dot character followed by question over here, which should be displayed as the question dot inner HTML. Apart from this, we also want to set the answers to this element answer buttons over here. So this should be element question in this case instead of question. So basically this is the correct way. And then we have another element that is element answer buttons in this case, which is a node list. So guys, remember that we have used the query selector all over here, which is going to return us the multiple button tags in this case. So simply we need to use the for each loop this time, and then each button will be set accordingly. So we have the button as the parameter to this particular anonymous function, and then for the button we are going to provide the inner HTML over here one at a time. It is equal to, again we make use of data followed by the question index over here followed by dot, and this time we want to use the answers property inside this particular object. Now guys, once again we have to go through the indices that is 0 to 3 over here, since we have 4 options in this case. So what we can do is, along with the for each loop over here, we will also get the index of the button. So simply let me just enclose the parameter that is button followed by comma, and as you can see the second parameter is passed as the index over here. So we will get the index of the button as well, and based on that particular index we can get the answer and store it as the HTML of the button over here. So first time we will get the 0th index followed by the first index, and then so on we will get all the 4 options over here. So for answers we are going to make use of this index that is passed over here inside the for each loop in this case, and then followed by dot, and then we have something called as text over here, which is going to have the answer for that particular question. So guys, basically these are the 4 options that will be set as the inner HTML for all the 4 options that we have already defined over here. So let me just save this file now. So currently we are not able to see the question and the answers over here. That's because we need to call the start quiz function. So let me just provide the call to this particular start quiz function over here in the end, and when we save this file now, as you can see we are getting the first question, that is what is 2 plus 2 over here. Also, while providing the question, let us also provide the question number as well. So what we can do is simply let me just provide the backticks over here, and then we will provide dollar symbol within which we are going to provide the question. And then before this, once again we will make use of the question index over here in order to provide the number followed by +1, since currently the question index is 0, and +1 we will get the first question over here followed by dot. So as you can see we are getting the first question over here. Similarly, what we will do is when the user clicks on the next button, in this case we are going to make the question index as 1, and when we click on save, as you can see this is the second question that is getting displayed now along with the options. So guys, this is the way we are going to increment the questions over here. So currently we are going to set it as 0 in this case. Now what we want to do is, by default we want to hide this particular next option, and until and unless the user selects the correct option, we are not going to display the next button over here. So simply let me just come to the style.css file over here. Where is the next button? in this case over here we need to provide display, it is equal to none in this case. So by default the next button will not be displayed. Once a user selects the correct answer, then only the next button should be displayed over here. So guys, let us write the code in order to handle the button click over here by the user in order to select the answer. So since we already have the element answer buttons over here, simply we can make use of this particular variable followed by dot, and then we are going to say for each, in this case since it is a node list over here, and for each button we are going to provide the add event listener. So guys, over here we will have the arrow function in this case, and then for each button we will have the add event listener over here. We will listen to the click event in this case, and then after this we are going to track the event as well. So when the user clicks on a specific event over here, basically we will have the data inside this particular event which will help us to recognize which of the options was selected over here. So guys, let us understand what is the data inside this particular event. So simply we will provide console.log and print this particular event. So let me just open the console of this particular browser using the inspect option, and let me just go to the console section over here. So as you can see, this is the console section. When we click on the option, so let us say I click on 3 over here, we are getting the event in this case. When we maximize this, basically what do we want is we want to get the text of this particular button. So how do we do that? So simply inside this particular event we are supposed to go inside the target over here, and inside the target we have something called as inner HTML. So as you can see, we have this inner HTML that is getting displayed over here. So let us try to extract this data over here. So what we will do is simply we will say let selected option it is equal to, and then we will say event followed by dot, and then we have target dot inner HTML in this case. So guys, basically whatever option is selected, it will be stored inside this selected option over here. Now we need to check whether this particular selected option, whether it is the correct option or not. So how do we get the correct option? Basically using the correct property inside this answers, we need to get the correct option. So simply what we will do is let us define the variable that is correct answer over here. It is equal to blank initially, and then what we will do is we will go through all the options, and for any of the option for which the property correct is equal to true, that particular text will be stored inside the correct answer. So guys, simply what we will do is let me just use another variable that is temp over here, and then inside this we are going to make use of the data, that is all the questions and the answers in this case, and we need to make use of the question index over here which is currently displayed to the user, after which we need to go to the answers section. So guys, basically this will give us the entire array of the answers. Now we need to go through this particular array and find out the option for which the correct property is true over here. So guys, simply for this particular temp variable we will make use of the for each in this case, and then we will say answer variable over here, and then we will have the arrow function in this case, and what we will do is simply we are going to check whether answer dot correct it is equal to true. So over here we will say if condition answer dot correct is it equal to true. So guys, simply if it is true, what we will do is over here we will say correct answer it is equal to, and then we will have answer followed by dot and then text. Since the text property is having the correct answer over here and the correct option for that particular text is true in this case, the text will be stored inside the correct answer. And then after this we need to check whether the correct answer is it equal to the selected option. Notice that we are selecting the option over here as a string in this case, since this inner HTML is going to get us the string, but we have stored all our answers as the number over here. So we need to use the 2 times equal to operator instead of 3 times equal to operator in this case. So before checking that, what we will do is let us also log the selected option and the correct answer as well over here. So simply I will say selected it is equal to, and then we will have the selected option and correct answer it is equal to followed by the correct answer variable. So guys, simply we are displaying both these options over here when the user clicks on a specific button. So let me just save this file now, go over here on the browser, and when we select this option, that is 5 in this case, as you can see, selected answer it is 5 and the correct answer it is equal to 4. So currently it is not correct over here, but we are able to save both the options, that is the selected option by the user and the correct answer inside these variables. Now what we will do is simply we will say if selected option is it equal to the correct answer. So guys, simply let me just try using 3 times equal to operator and then we will see what will happen. So guys, simply let me just say it is equal to correct over here. So we will display the string that is correct or else it is incorrect. So once again we will have the console.log statement over here and then we will say incorrect in this case, which should be within the single or the double quotes. So when we save this file now, let us provide the answer 4 in this case, which is correct answer. So when we say 4, it is saying incorrect. Why so? Because currently we are making use of 3 times equal to, and on the left hand side we have the string over here, since inner HTML is getting us the string data type, whereas the correct answer is having the integer over here, which is 4 right now. It is not within the single or the double quotes. So guys, over here what we have to do is we should be avoiding checking the data type as well. So only 2 times equal to we have to provide. So let me just save this file now. When we select the option that is 4 this time, now it is saying that it is correct. Now guys, what we have to do is when the answer is correct, then basically we need to set that particular option in the green color. So simply we are going to make use of the event followed by the target option followed by dot, and then we have something called as style followed by dot, and then we have the background color over here. So this is the way that we can set the background color of the specific HTML element. It is equal to, and this time let us set the background color as green when the selected option is correct over here. So when we save this file now, let us click on this button. So as you can see, the background color of the button has been updated to the green color. That's because it is correct over here. But when the answer is incorrect, then what we have to do is we need to set the background color of that particular button as red color over here. So simply we will provide the background color, it is equal to red, and also we will set the color, that is the text color, as white in this case, so that it looks good with the red background color. So when the answer is incorrect, let us see what will happen. So let us select the option that is 5 over here. It is incorrect. When we select the other option 6, it is incorrect. When we select the option that is 4, it is correct over here. So this is the way we can change the background color dynamically using the JavaScript code for any specific HTML element. Now guys, when the answer is correct, we want to display the next button as well. So after this, what we have to do is simply we will say button next over here after we have defined it. So we have not defined it for now. So let me just provide the button next variable. It is equal to, we provide document followed by the query selector over here. And what is the ID of the next button? Let me just copy from the HTML code and then provide it after the hash character. So we have the button next and we want to display it, since currently by default the display is equal to none. For this next button, we are going to provide a display, it is equal to block over here. So button next followed by dot, and we have style followed by dot, and then we have the display CSS property, it is equal to, and this time we will say display it is equal to block over here. So when we save this file now, when we click on the option that is 5 over here, the next button is not displayed. The application wants you to select the correct answer. So when we click on the correct answer, you can see that we are able to see the next button over here. So in this way we can click on the next button in order to get the next option. Now guys, currently we have not implemented this logic, so let us do that as well. So what we have to do is on button next, that is add event listener over here, we need to provide the click event in this case, and basically we will have the arrow function over here as the handler, after which what we have to do is simply we will say question index plus plus in order to increase the question index, which was by default 0 over here. And after incrementing the question index, we need to call the display question once again in order to display the next question. So So over here we will say display question, and once again we will pass the question index over here. And after we have done this, basically we also want to hide this button next over here. So simply let me just copy this line of code in this case, and we will provide none as the value so that the button next is hidden over here for the next question. And also we want to reset all the colors over here. By default the colors will stay for the next question, so let us check that as well. So when we save this file now, this is the first question, we provide the incorrect answers, and then in the end we provide the correct answer over here. And as you can see, we have the next button. When we click on the next button over here, you can see that the question has been updated, the answers are also updated, but the background color is not changing right now. So what we will do is we can provide the reset function over here, and then we are going to define the reset function in this case, which will help us in order to reset the background color of all the buttons. So guys, simply what we have to do is, since all the buttons are present inside the element answer buttons over here, we will make use of this particular variable, and then we will go through each of the button in this case and provide the background color that was set by default. So over here we have the button in this case, and then we will have button followed by dot, and this time we will make use of the style followed by dot, and then we have the background color. It is equal to, we will take the default background color from the style.css file over here, that is this particular color in this case. So let me just copy this color code and paste this over here. So this reset function will be called after we click on the next button, and the background color of all the buttons will be reset to the default values. So let me just save this file now. As you can see, we are getting the first question over here. We click on the incorrect options, and then when we click on the correct option, as you can see, we are getting the next button. So when we click on the next button, you can see that the background color is now updated. Now guys, as you can see, the color needs to be updated as well. So what we will do is, once again we will go over here and we will copy this line of code, and within the same reset function we will make the black as the default font color over here. So when we save this file now, as you can see, we are selecting the correct answer followed by next, and the font color is not reflecting over here. That's because we need to provide the button.style instead of event.target over here. So let me just make those changes, and then let us now test our application. So we have the next button, we click on the next button, and now we are getting the another set of options over here for the next question. So let me just provide 7 multiplied by 5, 21, no in this case, 28, no in this case. Is it 35? Yes, the answer is correct, that is 35. And then let's click on the next option over here. Then what is 9 divided by 3? It is equal to 3 over here, but let us select the incorrect answer, that is 4, and then let us move to the correct answer, that is 3 in this case, and then click on the next option in this case. So what is 100 minus 81? So it is 19. And then we can click on the next button in this case, and now we are getting certain error, cannot read properties of undefined, that is reading question. That's because this is the last question in this case. So guys, simply what we have to do is, we need to check whether question index plus plus is it less than or equal to 3 over here, then only we will display the button in this case. So guys, simply what we will do is, let me just provide if followed by question index, is it less than or equal to 3. So we have less than or equal to 3 over here, which will be the last question. So what we need to do is, we need to change this condition, that is question index is less than 3, and once it is 3, then we are not going to display the next option. So over here, this is the way that we can provide our logic in this case for the last question to be handled. So we have 2 plus 2, it is equal to 4. Then we have 7 multiplied by 5, it is 35. Next, 9 divided by 3 is 3, and then we have next, and now it is not displaying the next question over here. Let me just make it equal to, so that it is able to display the last question as well. So we have 35, and then 9 divided by 3, it is 3, and then next. So in the end, we should not be getting the next option, but still we are getting over here. But when we are clicking on this particular next option, it is not calling the display question once again in order to display the next question over here. So guys, ideally we should be having the submit button, and we should be getting the score out of this quiz, which I'll leave this as a homework for you. you so that you can practice on your own. So guys, this is the way that we can simply create a very simple quiz over here which can help you in order to understand the basic of JavaScript, HTML and the CSS in this case. So guys, comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.